If you are running an agency, I'm sure you've heard the gurus in the market telling you that the agency model is dying. Done-for-you service fulfillment is on its way out the door. With increased globalization of talent and of course the rise of AI, many are saying that there is no longer a value proposition that can keep up with the speed of the market in the done-for-you approach. Now, I am here to hopefully put your mind a bit at ease, because you should know by now that that is some fear-mongering and some marketing to get you to transition into whatever new business model it is that they're shilling. But that's not to say that they are entirely lying. The agency model itself is not dying. You're going to continue to see flourishing and thriving 7, 8, and 9-figure agencies moving past 2030. But the approach that most agency owners have been taking to running their agencies is absolutely on its way out the door. As I'm working with more 7-figure plus agency owners, I'm seeing a clear distinction between the ones that are worried and likely going to see a decline in business over the next couple of years, and the ones that are actually being able to ride the tide that is coming with all of the things that are changing in the market. In this video, I'll show you how to know if your agency is about to get steamrolled, or if you're going to join the agencies that will own the market over the next couple of years and actually ride this tide to swim better than you ever have. I don't want to see you just survive this year or the next couple of years. I want you to be able to position yourself to actually magnify your growth. A lot of agencies experience problems as they scale that most just kind of associate to growing pains. But just like growing pains, it's only cute up until a certain point. Right now, the shifts in the market and what it needs are exposing more of the operational holes in many agencies. And these holes are going to be the ones that cause your ship to sink in the next couple of years. There are 3 primary risk zones where you're going to find these holes. The first is going to be visibility. The second is going to be your team. And the third is going to be your fulfillment. We're going to work our way backwards. If the projects that you take on feel like you're reinventing the wheel every single time you start a new project, if your project timelines are slipping more often than not, and if you have certain services or areas of fulfillment that you're less certain about fulfilling on than others, these are all signs that you are going to have problems due to your fulfillment. As far as team risk, do you have true accountability that you can hold your team to, or do you just have check-ins? Does everything stall if you take a few steps back out of the business for a few days? Are your team members asking you what to do every day? These all signal a need for more robust team management infrastructure. That flows into visibility. Many agencies are lacking the leading indicators necessary for them to have a heads up when a project is off track. And these are the same agencies that don't know their profitability per project or per client, and that can't predict their capacity for their team over the next 2 weeks. If you said yes to even a couple of those, your ops are not ready to scale or survive in this coming market. The agencies that are going to continue to survive over the next few years are those that can beat you even marginally in all of these areas. But on the bright side, if they're not watching this video, then you're going to be the one that's beating them. I'm going to walk you through 3 operational shifts that are going to set you up for magnified growth over the next couple of years. The first is going to be productizing your delivery. If every new project that you start is completely custom, you are going to fall by the wayside in favor of agencies that have a productized service for a particular segment of the market. They're just going to be able to get their clients' results faster and more predictably than you are. And because they're doing the same thing every time, they have a good baseline that they can measure to use data to inform the decisions that they make in the business. I'm going to touch more on that later. Productizing your delivery means having one standardized hero offer and fulfilling on it the same exact way every time. This allows you to pre-build your phases, templates, and checklists to ensure that your team is able to systemize excellence. Map this into project management so that you have the standardization and the scale foundation to be able to actually grow with the business. Doing this one thing is going to lead to faster onboarding, fewer revisions, and your team actually knowing what done looks like. And not just done well. Second area, systemizing internal communication. If your whole business is running off of Slack and vibes, you're cooked. About 60% of the friction that I see in 7-figure agencies is about internal communication, specifically team members not being able to get the resources or the exact steps that they need to take to do something properly without pulling on somebody's shirt. Now is the time to ensure that your team alignment and communication is as asynchronous as it can be, again, leveraging proper project management infrastructure, and that you have an internal knowledge base or SOP library that thoroughly explains exactly what every team member needs to do to ensure excellence in fulfillment. And if there's one thing that you could do to aid your communication that would be the most impactful, it would be setting up operating rhythms. These are communication cadences that ensure that the team is always in communication by the point that something needs to be addressed, as opposed to just being reactive and responding to new information or a red flag going up from a client. I like to think about it as a pressure release valve. Sure, we might be able to get more pressure going through the pipe, but if we know that this release valve is going to allow us to let off some steam as necessary, we never reach that point of critical mass where the pipe might burst. We helped a 6-person creative agency get out of endless revisions and deliver projects 3 times faster just by automating a few of their updates and documenting many of their internal processes into a knowledge base. Because they have the proper infrastructure in place, that team is going to continue to scale as we approach 2030. Now, the third and final area is making your operations data-driven. You need visibility into the things that are ultimately going to influence how long a client stays with you and what they have to say about you. You can build a simple dashboard to track, if anything, these 3 metrics: your delivery speed, your team's output, and your client satisfaction. I'm going to leave a resource in the description for how we were able to accurately gauge client satisfaction within a 7-figure agency and make all of the decision-making around what we were doing to aid client success much easier. One key point that I'll make here is you'll probably want these inputs to be manual first. I like to use Airtable for most of our data consolidation around KPIs and these performance metrics, but over time, you will want to automate these once you have your process flow standardized. This is going to allow you to see fires before they start burning your revenue, continuously optimize your capacity, and know exactly when to hire. If you can bring excellence to these 3 areas, your systems will be dialed. When they're dialed, your agency runs more like a product and less like a hustle. The agencies that are able to do that are going to be the ones that are set to scale 2025 and beyond. I want to reiterate, the agency model is not dying, but the old way of being able to run an agency absolutely is. The path forward for successful agencies is going to be more data-driven, more efficiency-focused, and more centered around impact and results than just delivery of the scope. I do believe we're going to see a switch in who has the most opportunity in the market. For the last few years, agencies have been dominated by type A personalities that have been able to grow the business through their own sheer willpower and energy. Moving forward, I believe the biggest opportunity is going to be for operators that can think like CEOs. These are exactly the kind of people that we are helping in our Bulletproof Backend build out, where we come in, rebuild your delivery engine, train your team, and get you scalable to multiple 6 figures a month in less than 30 days. You can spend the next couple of months trying to figure out how to implement everything that I just mentioned to you, or if you want to do it better and faster, you can go ahead and look in the description of this video and book a call, see if we're a good fit. Last thing I'll leave you with, do not buy into the fear-mongering hype. You've built your business this far, and now is not the time to abandon ship. Just gotta make a few adjustments, a couple of mods. Peace and be well. I'll catch you in the next one.